Hey everybody, how's it going today? We're going to be putting Project 6 on hold for a little while as we start to work on a retired law enforcement officer's 2007 Police Special Ultra Classic. Due to personal and family reasons, he hasn't been able to get on the bike for the past 4 years, and it's just been sitting in his garage. It hasn't been started or on a battery tender during that whole time frame. So I told him if he could get it over here to me, I do everything I can to get it back up and running. And so Denny and I are going to start working on that today, and we'll be shooting videos along the way. We hope everybody joins us and see what we have going on. And so with that said, let's get started. I'm going to try to keep the video camera in the best place I can. I don't want to move it around a lot. I don't want to spend too much time on moving the video camera. I'm going to pull the seat off. I've already pulled it off once. I took the battery out just to check, and it had 0 volts, so it definitely was dead. As we can see here, sitting in the garage, looks like he had some mice get into his seat to form a little nest. So we'll definitely have to look at the wiring to make sure it's not chewed at all. I'm going to take and get some of this taken apart. Biggest thing we need to do is get the gas out of this gas tank and get it flushed, because we know that the gas is definitely going to be bad since it's been sitting for 4 years. Doesn't smell too bad. Well, we'll only be able to tell once we get it off and get it looking there. Definitely not going to be any edits while I'm doing this. It's just going to be raw as we go. So to get the console off, I got a screw down here, and I got 2 more up here. These are all 5/32. Water overflow line. Oh boy. Okay. That is on there. We'll dry rod. We're going to have to get some lube on there. I'm going to take these 3 screws out so I can get the plastic cover off, which will give me access to the connector for the COM port. Okay, I'm not sure. Let me see if I can get this hose off. It's got a little corrosion on it. Friendly dog in the neighborhood. So I don't know if you guys can see it. There's two little slots here, and it's basically a locking ring. And all you have to do is lefty loosey, righty tighty with it. And the whole lid comes off and the COM port comes out. Bring this over. Hopefully everybody can see just the corrosion of that overflow line. And then you got some little corrosion here. See what I can do to get that all cleaned up for them also. And put the cap back on. Now we're going to work to get the tank off. So I was wondering what these extra wires are to, and he's got some ground effects lights. So we're going to get those out of the way first. I'm not going to move the camera, but come to find out, I didn't plan on taking off the air filter so soon, but it looks like he's got the ground flex lights wrapping around his air filter somehow. Oh, that's not good. I'll show you in a second here. He's got, last time these were touched, these lines got pinched in the cover to the air filter. Here's these ground effects lights I was talking about. And you can see the one here that was actually right up in here. You can see the indentations on the filter where they were pinched. So that's not good. These lights are old. I don't think we're gonna be putting it back on. He's got wires going everywhere for ground effect lights. We'll just kind of deal with those as we go. These are pinched behind the tank, so I'm not going to be able to get them off right now. So we've got a lower tank screw, and then one on each side up top, T40s. Might have helped if I grabbed a T40 and not a T45. I really love these 𝗦𝗁𝗋 T-handles when I'm taking stuff apart. We're ready to drain the fuel out of the tank. Now, this is a 2007, so it has a crossover tube here that goes from one side of the tank to the other, obviously crossover tube. So in order to drain the fuel out or the gas, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to crimp this side, undo the other side, and recover that gas with a hose. And we'll go over there and I'll show you what I have set up and what I'm going to do. Now, there's a whole bunch of different ways to do this. So everybody's got their own kind of way. And this is just what I was taught. So here's my crossover tube coming in. standard Harley clamp. And so what I'm going to do is I've got just regular fuel line hose. I got it going down in here to a gas can. So like I said, I'm going to crimp that side. I'm going to undo this, and as quick as I can, I'm going to plug this hose in to drain the fuel. Yes, gas is going to come out, so I'm going to put regs down there, and hopefully I'm going to keep it to a minimum. So that's why I already have this here. I'm going to get some regs, get everything set up, and then we'll go through it. Okay, one option that you can do is if you clamp off both sides, you can take and just cut the hose. I don't really want to do that. I don't know how good or how bad this hose is. If it's good enough, we'll reuse it. If it's bad, then obviously we'll get a new one. One thing I failed to mention, this crossover tube goes underneath the backbone of the bike. So without getting the tube off, you can't get the tank off. Now, I'm going to use a pair of vice grips, which I'm sure everybody can guess Harley Davidson says not to do. Yeah, get the clamp out of the way. Boy. All these hoses are really, really dry. Okay. Hose is loose. So we've got our fuel draining. I'll open up the gas cap, help get that to drain a little bit quicker. Okay, with the fuel drained out on this side, I'm just going to take 2 bolts. One, I'm going to plug the line, and then the other, I'm going to take and plug the tank on this side. It's still going to drip a little bit, but it shouldn't drip too much because most of the fuel is out of there. And then we'll go over to the other side and repeat the same thing. We've got the majority of the fuel drained. There's still a little draining on the other side. So now we're going to go ahead and do our undo our fuel line connection here. And all it is just push up on this chrome sleeve. It should come out. Oh boy, we got a lot of rust there. So that's out. Well, we might end up replacing that. So that's off. Here's some more accent lights. Hopefully, as long as there's no accent lights grabbing the tank anywhere, we should be able to just lift the tank right up and out of the way. As you can see, here's all those accent lights. We'll get rid of those. We've got corrosion on top of the heads there. So we got some work cut out for us to get her cleaned up. Big thing is we got to get that fuel tank cleaned out to see if we can even get decent fuel to engine to get it started. And this is that crossover tube. So you can see how short it is, but it goes underneath. Goes underneath the frame. So without the tube out of there, you can't get the tank off. I'm going to get the rest of this fuel drained out of the tank, and then we'll take a look and try to see if we can tell what it looks like inside.